Hello everyone, welcome to the Football Fan Podcast. This is Soccer Happy and I'm your host, Fred, and you can find me on Twitter at Fredilo. It's always a pleasure to be here, and as always, I'm joined with Paco today.
Hi guys and welcome. So you can find me on Twitter as well on my handle at Paco Ilondo. Welcome to our podcast and let's discuss football.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, not really a lot, but some interesting stuff happened in the world of football this week. But before that, I want to remind you that you can follow us on Twitter at Soccer Happy and join us, and let's have a lot of fun. Let's discuss football and join the conversation as always. But what happened, was the most interesting stuff was not even about football actually. It wasn't what happened on the pitch because it was out of the pitch. Chelsea just secure Christian Pulisic. I think it's Christian is first.
Yeah, it's
first
Christian
name.
Pulisic.
Yeah, Christian Pulisic is going to join Chelsea in June. And what I don't know, that's really weird. What's weird to me is that he's not joining them on January. It means they don't need him right now. They only need him during the next summer for the next season.
Yes.
What does it mean? Does it mean Hazard is leaving Chelsea?
Well, looking from the way things have been going with Chelsea, it seems like Eden Hazard has his head turned and doesn't want to be at Chelsea anymore. So I think they're just working on a plan to replace him. And I think Pulisic is the long-term plan they have for him. And then on the other hand, I just love the way Chelsea does things because they had Thibaut Courtois, who was like a top-class goalkeeper. And then when he decided to leave the club to join Real Madrid,
Yeah.
and then they spend that much money to secure keeper Arrizabalaga.
Yeah.
And then you can see now that keeper.
That's exactly where I was going because
Yeah.
you don't spend 65 million euros on a player who's just going to come and just be an additional player.
Yeah.
It looks like a replacement because Pulisic is unproven outside of Dortmund. Even in Dortmund, he's not like uncontestable or anything like that. So you would think that Chelsea would actually don't want to spend that much for a player who's not as proven as someone like Eden Hazard. But if they are willing to take the risk, like with keeper, it means that they are at the point where they just need someone they can rely on
Yes.
that right wing or that left wing. And I think even though they can play together with Hazard,
Yeah.
I don't think they bought Pulisic to just come and be like
A squad player.
Exactly.
No, the thing is, even when they bought keeper, like people thought that maybe the money was a lot for a goalkeeper who was unproven.
Yeah.
Because no one knew keeper before he came to Chelsea.
Exactly.
Right? But he's proven to be like worth the money because he's been pretty good. He's one of the top 3 in the league right now. If you look at Alisson, Ederson.
Personally, I
and
think
keeper.
this season only Alisson has been better. I've been really impressed by keeper. I think the money was well spent. That's what gives me hope when I think about what they are doing with Pulisic. But I'm just worried about what could happen with Chelsea because I was watching this person on TV the other day and he actually made a good point. He was saying that yes, you can replace Hazard with Pulisic, that's fine. But Hazard doesn't only assist, sometimes he's the top scorer of the team.
Yes.
Especially when you have Morata and Giroud in your team.
Yeah.
You have to have someone who's going to step up when they don't.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Pulisic is that kind of player. He's the player who's going to maybe provide assists, who's going to help you build or even create chances. But to finish, you need someone else. And they don't have that someone else outside of Hazard right now.
No, but the thing is, being Chelsea and being so heavily dependent on Hazard for the past couple of seasons or a few seasons,
Yeah.
right? I think the best thing for them right now is not just to buy Pulisic to replace Hazard because they're not the same kind of players.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So I think right now they must think of building like a team.
Yeah.
Where you have like top scorer, you have creative midfielders, you have like top class defenders, and that's the only way that they can maintain and going forward like challenge for titles and for honors.
But let's talk about a scenario where they don't sell Hazard next summer.
Yes.
They can actually play together because Pulisic can play right wing, he can play on the left,
Yes.
and he can play attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
So it means you can have both Hazard and Pulisic on the field. And I think if Chelsea actually manage to keep Hazard this summer, I think this is looking pretty good for them next season actually.
Yeah, it is. But on the other hand, right, when I was looking at the Pulisic transfer, and I was thinking to myself, like, okay, we've seen the same thing with keeper, right? Before he came to Chelsea, we wasn't sure that he was able to come and replace and live up to Thibaut Courtois' expectations, that kind of level. But when you see Pulisic, right now you have like a lot of players in Dortmund who are on top of the pecking order.
Yeah.
Because he's not even playing at the moment. Like, he's not like a starter.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho and like Marco Reus is back, and he found his place in the team like very reduced, and his play time very reduced. So yeah, I don't know.
But what you just said is very interesting, because I was looking at his statistics this season, and for the season 2018 and 19 so far, he has played 18 games.
Yes.
And he has scored 3 goals and has 4 assists. For a squad player or a player who is like still young and still improving,
yeah,
it's pretty decent. It's not like impressive or anything. But when you take this and then you take the fact that he was like a very good prospect when Klopp was there.
Yeah.
Because even Klopp, when he joined Chelsea, when the news got out, Klopp said that he was really impressed by what Chelsea just did, because it actually thinks Pulisic is a very skillful player. So I think what they bought is mostly potential. Let's be honest.
Exactly. That's where I want you to get to, right? Because Christian Pulisic is considered to be like a prospect.
Yeah.
Like the next big things, the next big American player.
The first big American player, if we're being honest.
Well, we've had like players like Donovan. Maybe
but he wasn't big.
Yeah, maybe they weren't that big.
Right now, Pulisic has already surpassed Donovan in terms of buzz. Donovan was never as popular as Pulisic.
No, but in terms of buzz, yes, but not in terms of football. Because
but
Donovan has done more than Pulisic.
Yeah, but Pulisic,
in the national
the
team.
thing with Pulisic is he's still 20, and he's being considered as one of the most promising young talents.
Exactly,
right
that's
now.
my point.
Yeah.
So they're buying him for the future. Like, if he can reach his potential, and he can reach his potential at Chelsea Football Club, then we would have bought ourselves, made ourselves a very good deal.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I actually don't think Chelsea's are gonna regret this, even though I question the price, because we know our buying potential can be expensive,
yes.
But I mean a 65 million euros potential is kind of expensive, too expensive.
Look, I think in terms of money and in terms of spending, it only depends on how desperate you are, and if you have the ability to afford it actually.
Yeah.
You see, like for example, Chelsea, they're just thinking long term, and they're like, if Eden Hazard leaves today, we're gonna find ourselves in a situation where we don't have a creative midfielder, and then what happens? But at this moment, if they think we can actually get ourselves someone who can actually jump in the team and help out straight away, and they can actually afford it, because we know for Chelsea, spending 65 million is not a problem, then it's all good.
But I have a theory though.
Yeah.
What if Chelsea was actually putting pressure on Hazard? Because I don't think people understand the situation with Hazard. So let me just explain a little bit.
Yeah.
The thing with Hazard, he has said it multiple times, that his dream is to play for Real Madrid.
Yes.
And Chelsea have arrived at a point where they're just waiting for Real Madrid to make a move and then give them the price tag, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, Real Madrid haven't made a move. They don't even look interested.
Yeah.
So the thing is, right now Hazard is being difficult. Not really difficult. I mean a little bit, because he's got 1 year and a half left in his contract and he's not renewing. At the other end, Real Madrid are not making a move. So Hazard is stuck in a situation where he's waiting for Real Madrid to make him the next big star, but they don't look interested. At the same time, Chelsea is like, okay, we bought Pulisic. What are you gonna do now?
No, but the thing is, and I back Chelsea in a sense where Eden Hazard at this moment is unsettled, right? He doesn't want to renew his contract. He's always talking about like waking up in the morning and going to Madrid.
Yeah.
And as a club, you can't depend on a player who's unsettled.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you need to make plans.
That's what I think that what they did right now was to just show him that they are ready to move on if he doesn't make a decision right now.
Exactly. And the thing is, no player is bigger than a club.
Yeah.
You know. So when you start like unsettling yourself and talking about moving to another club, so it's now to the club to take actions.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, you want to go? Okay, we're just waiting for an offer. When we get an offer and we're happy with it, and then we sell.
If I was Hazard, I wouldn't be too confident about going to Real Madrid because Real Madrid have a lot of players with his characteristics right now. Like players like Asensio or even Isco, you know, and they are not doing that great. And I think Florentino Perez right now, if he's not going to find better, he's just going to stick with his team right now.
Now, but the thing is, you know what I think, right? When you are a player or anywhere in the world, in whatever you're doing, you can never say that, no, I can't do this because people who are already there are not doing so great, and then how different am I going to be? Maybe Hazard is thinking at this moment that if he goes to Real Madrid, he's going to make the difference, like give them what they need.
I was actually talking more about Florentino Perez's perspective.
Yes.
Why they are not making a move for Hazard? It's because they don't see he's going to do more than Isco or Asensio. I actually think that someone like Mbappe is more tempting for them than Hazard.
And I won't even go on about saying that Florentino Perez thinks that he has a lot of players who can like play the same way that Hazard played. I just think that Florentino Perez hasn't been impressed by Hazard. Yeah. Not as many people.
I mean, think. I was putting it like nicely, but that's pretty much it. He's not impressed.
Because look, when we look at Hazard today, yes, he's a good player, he's a top player, but Florentino Perez just lost Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah. Trust me, you don't find anything closer to Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, but let's be honest, and I actually might offend some people, but we all know that only Chelsea fans think Hazard is like one of the best in the world or whatever. If you're really like objective about what you think about him, then you know he's good, but he's not great.
Yes.
He's never scored 20 goals in Premier League.
Yes.
And he disappears sometimes in the season. It's expected every season. So we all know he's not one of the best in the world right now. For me, even Mbappe right now is better than Hazard. Right now, if Real Madrid wants a forward, they better go for Mbappe or Neymar or people like that who are consistent throughout the season. Because you can say that Mbappe or Neymar are playing in League 1 right now. Okay. But Mbappe has been consistent in Champions League as well.
Yes.
And in the World Cup. He was scoring against Juventus when he was at Monaco.
Yes.
And they played the semi-final. He was always good. Always. Yes. In every single game he's played.
Yes.
Every big one. You remember the game against Liverpool. We were saying how Liverpool successfully contained him and Neymar in the first game.
Yes.
And you saw what they did on the second leg.
Yeah.
It's that kind of player. And I don't think Hazard is that kind of player. But why Chelsea fans are always trying to tell people that he's one of the best or whatever. But we know, when we think objectively about Hazard, we know his real level.
No, but the thing is as well, Hazard, maybe outside of N'Golo Kante, Hazard is the player who's been the best player for Chelsea for like some years now. And when I say best player, is like he's been like the top scorer in the team.
I actually don't agree. You know why? Because that the year they won the Premier League.
Yes.
For me, it was Costa who was the best player of Chelsea.
Yeah, he was.
Because Costa was scoring goals at crucial times. when they didn't expect Chelsea to win. And when Costa left, Hazard stayed there. But we saw what happened to the team.
Okay, maybe I need to rephrase. Maybe let me say that Hazard has been more, because you know when they say the midfield is like the engine of the team.
Yeah.
Right? So Hazard, being the player he is, he's been very important to the engine.
I agree with that.
Engine that the Chelsea team is.
Yeah, of course, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe that's why when they look at him, they're like, oh, Hazard. But on the other hand, when you look at a team, I'll just go for an example, a very simple example, like Coutinho was at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Do you know that when Coutinho left Liverpool, a lot of people say that Liverpool level is gonna drop consistently because Coutinho used to score goals, used to assist a lot, and he used to create so many chances.
Yeah.
But what happened? Liverpool became a better team after he left.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what Chelsea need.
Yeah,
maybe
I think that's what they need.
Maybe they just need for Hazard to move on, and then for them to find like a proper balance as a team. Because
they rely too much on him, and I think what it brings to that reliability is not enough for them to move forward.
Well, because he's not reliable.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. Because when you rely on someone like Cristiano Ronaldo,
yes,
he scores 40 goals a season.
He's reliable.
He's reliable.
He scores 40, 50 goals a season.
And someone like Lionel Messi, who like in 2013 scored like 91 goals in 1 year.
In a calendar year.
Yeah. So that's the kind of reliable players we're talking about. But when you rely too much on a player who can't even crack 20 goals a season, he's holding you back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, true.
And if he thinks he's more important than your club, then I don't mind you selling him actually, and then move on and be a better team. And speaking of team, there is a team who is been looking better and better these days, and that's Manchester United.
Oh yes.
So what do you think about the recent form?
Well, I think football is not only about the talents, right? Mm-hmm. It's about like there's a lot of things that go on in a team. Like for example, the mood in the dressing room, like the players, the atmosphere, everything. Yeah. And I think it became toxic with Jose Mourinho. Fighting with the players the way he was, and like everything that was happening was very toxic for the club. And this thing was predicted long before Jose Mourinho took over the club, because that's what he does.
Yeah.
And maybe Manchester United fans were like, yeah, if he can win 1 or 2 trophies before he leaves, we're happy with that. But in what state and
he's
gonna leave your club?
Exactly.
You see, he almost destroyed like players' confidence, like people like Lukaku, Luke Shaw, but even all these. I think Manchester United centre backs are.
I think the problem with Mourinho is when he doesn't win, he actually put all the pressure on the players. Like I actually imagine him to be the kind of coach to go in the dressing room and be like, "We lost today, and this is all your fault, you motherfuckers." You know, these kind of things.
No, you know the thing with Jose Mourinho, right? I've always said it. Jose Mourinho, whenever they win, when he manages a team, whenever the team wins, it's him and his tactics.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they lose, it's always the players' fault. Yeah. They don't give 100%. They're not good enough. The quality is not as high.
At the end of the day, the players are not children. You can't talk to them like they are worth nothing or whatever.
No, but the thing is, no one wants to come to work and be told that he's not good at his job.
Yeah, exactly.
So why would Jose Mourinho have 23 players, pick his starting 11, they go on to play a football game, come back, and for you to go to the press and criticize them and say they're not good enough?
And even like say something about the youth players when they went to the pre-season tour.
Yeah.
When he was like, yeah, it's going well, but you know,
they're never gonna play a single match.
And then Alexis Sanchez is doing well, but you know, what can he do when he's playing with these kind of players? They're not even going to play any game this season. I'm like, wow, what kind of coach is that? Yes. And you can see like why someone like Paul Pogba has picked up his form, because right now he's scored 4 goals and assists 3 times since Mourinho left.
And the problem is, you go with academy players in the preseason and you smash them like that, right?
Yeah,
but we know Manchester United is a club who's renowned to promote players from the academy.
Yeah.
We've seen that with Rashford, see that with Lingard, we see that with even Pogba come from the academy.
But
You know.
you went even. I would go even further and say someone like Cristiano Ronaldo when he arrived at Manchester United, he used to be a squad player.
Yes.
But you know why he actually reached his potential? It's because Ferguson protected that kid.
Exactly.
Ferguson like behaved like a father to Cristiano Ronaldo. You couldn't criticize Cristiano Ronaldo in front of Ferguson, even when he had a bad game.
Yes.
He was always like, leave him alone. He's just a kid. He's learning. He's gonna get there. And we will always encourage him, even during the press conference and everything like that. That's why even today, when he meets Ferguson somewhere, he's always show him respect because he knows.
Yeah, he's a father figure for him.
Yeah, but I don't think of a player Mourinho has protected like this. Not even one.
No, it's never like you said.
He only thinks of himself.
On top of my head, I can't come up with a name
There
to say that Jose
isn't.
Mourinho has protected. This
The only
player.
players I know are players who have played well just under Jose Mourinho, like Diego Milito.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because Jose Mourinho was protecting them. It was because it was working what he was doing there. And
No,
that's
because the way Diego Milito was playing did suit the system Jose Mourinho wanted to play at that time.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. It was never a player who was like a prospect, and then Mourinho
Yes.
protected him, advised him.
Yeah.
Not
Because
it
he
never
wasn't
happened.
even that young when Jose
He
Mourinho
wasn't.
was
He
at
was.
Inter.
He was already a proven Serie A striker. He just blew up that season for some reason, and then after that season, he was never heard of again. But that for me has everything to do with how good that Inter team worked with Jose Mourinho's system.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean Jose Mourinho team management was good, because he has never been good at managing players. But personally, I'm just glad that we can now see players like Pogba and Mata and all the others reach their potential again and be good again. Because I've been telling people that this Manchester United team has good players. Don't be fooled.
No, but the thing is, when the I think we in one of the podcasts we did, or one of the like I asked you that question. I'm like, yes, Mourinho is crying about his team and how they don't want to give him money to go to the transfer market and buy players. When you look at this Manchester United team, tell me what is wrong that you need right now to change things around.
Yeah.
If you are the manager.
Because I look at Manchester United from their defense to the attack. It's not like the worst I've seen. Like, they have some weaknesses, notably in defense. I think they could do better there. But the midfield for me is just great.
No, okay, let's go even simply. If we have to compare, right? Let's compare, for example, Manchester United and a team like Wolves.
Yeah.
How many Wolves players do you know, or are big name or big stars today?
You know how like the Wolves presidents will kill to have that Manchester United team.
You see, but Wolves go out there and they've taken points from Tottenham, from Chelsea, from City.
Yeah.
The only top big six team who beat Wolves was Liverpool.
Yeah.
They took points out of all of them.
Yeah.
But you'll never hear the manager on TV say that, oh yeah, maybe next year we can go to the transfer and buy more players and make challenge for whatever. No. Because he's working with what he is. And they're actually strong and organized.
That's why the other day I told you that I wanted Mourinho out, because I actually think Manchester United deserves better and deserve to be a club respected by everyone, and to have players who play with passion, because Pogba wasn't playing with passion anymore. Lukaku, that guy looked like he gave up like before the season even started.
Yeah.
And pretty much everyone, man, the whole team was unrecognizable, and it was heartbreaking to watch, because like I said, I'm not a Manchester United fan, but it's a club I respect and I will forever respect, because it's a big club. It's a club that's done so much for football, and seeing someone like Mourinho coaching them, ruining the image of the club, was just heartbreaking to see. So right now, I'm a happy man. I can just enjoy them, probably rising back again. It might take them a few more years, but at least they are on the right track now.
But does that take us to where I was telling you that if they get a new manager today, maybe it's gonna be a different story come February when they face PSG?
Yeah, we come back to that conversation.
I told you about
maybe,
that.
Now the Champions League game became interesting again.
Yeah.
Because I can actually see Manchester United giving PSG the fight for the money. Because this is going to be a really, really tough game for PSG now. Because these players, they look revived.
Yeah.
They look alive again.
They look as if they're ready to go to war.
Yeah. And a Pogba in full force with a Lukaku who can actually score goals. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm actually excited for that game now. Because you remember back then when we talked about prediction, I was like, yeah, easy for PSG. But now I can actually see Manchester United fight for a place in the next round.
Okay. So we just have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, sure. But there's a more interesting game happening today. Today, this could probably be a title decider today. Again, between Manchester City and Liverpool. Yeah.
Okay, title decider. I don't know. Maybe it's too much to say because we're still in January. We have 4 months to go and what?
You know what? Let's
games.
be honest. These two teams, they don't really lose often. So
yes, they don't.
For a team like Liverpool to take advantage of this game and create a big gap between them and City could be the end. Because if Liverpool wins today, how many points will they have?
Well, Liverpool winning today takes them to 10 points to see.
10 points.
10 points. Yes.
10 points means they need to lose at least 3 games and draw once.
Yes.
Do you really believe Liverpool can, from January to April or May, can lose 3 games in a row, and City will win every game until the end?
Well, looking at Liverpool defense this season, they've only conceded 8 goals.
Yeah.
So
how many games did they lose? Nothing. Not once. They
haven't lost a single game.
Exactly.
So that's what I was saying. So looking at the statistics, right, and the number of goals they have conceded and stuff, so it's very hard to see them lose games. They can lose 1 or 2.
Yeah.
By the time they finish the season, but losing 3-4 games, I don't think so.
The other problem is that City, they look like they're just going down, man. It looks like it's getting worse and worse.
No, I don't think they're going down. I just think that this season, look, in football as well, it just happens. You go into a new season, and then you're just losing games that you shouldn't be losing, and playing and having a bad performance. These things happen.
Yeah, I do think it happens. But when it happens to a club that used to play so perfectly, like City, you kind of wonder sometimes, what's going on and what's happening.
But they still are playing perfectly. They lose three games out of 4, but I still think they're playing well.
But the way they lost to Crystal Palace, man, that was pathetic. I'm sorry. I respect City a lot, but sometimes when they lost this season, it looked like they were not focused. Because as soon as they started focusing on winning that game, you could see that Crystal Palace was not on the level. Yeah. But they still managed to let Crystal Palace score on them.
No, but the thing is, if you look at the City Crystal Palace game, right? The goals Crystal Palace scored.
Because I'm not even mad about losing against Chelsea, because it's fine.
Even against Chelsea, the most embarrassing performance of Manchester City has been against Chelsea.
But for me, it's fine because Chelsea is actually a top club that can actually beat City if they are on a good day. You know, they can lose against Chelsea, against Tottenham, Liverpool, or whatever. But when you lose against a club like Crystal Palace, it needs to be a loss that people actually look at it and be like, okay, Crystal Palace actually looked better. But Crystal Palace didn't look better. Manchester City looked sloppy that day.
Yeah,
They looked distracted.
and that's exactly what I was saying. So
You
these
can't
things,
look distracted when you are fighting for the title.
no, that's what I'm saying. These things happen. Like you
It didn't happen to Liverpool yet.
no, it
Because
doesn't.
Liverpool looked like they actually want this.
No, but in the beginning, if you watch Liverpool games in the beginning of the season, Liverpool were actually winning games when they weren't in the game. And that's what I was saying. This is the difference between Liverpool this season and for the past years. Because Liverpool were at their best.
Yeah, I actually think...
But they still managed to get results.
It was more about Liverpool struggling to get the best out of the striker or the forwards. But the defense was always focused.
No, the defense was solid, but there wasn't so much balance between the midfield
I think
and
what
and the
Liverpool
attack.
needed at the beginning of the season was for Salah, Mane, and Firmino to wake up. That's it.
I don't
Because
think
all the rest of the pitch
Yes.
for me was doing...
no.
Because I actually think Liverpool's midfield was playing better at the beginning of the season than right now.
That's what I'm saying. There wasn't any balance.
Yeah.
And I think the balance comes from the fact that Liverpool this season has been playing a different system.
Yeah.
So the players actually had to adapt and adjust to the new system.
Yeah.
And then now that they've been playing a lot, they've kind of found the balance and the cohesion between the team.
Yeah.
And that's why you see now that Salah has started scoring again, Mane is scoring, Firmino has scored 3 goals.
If it was a new system, then it's normal that it will take some time to get going.
Yeah.
But if we have to say it though, what do you think will happen tonight between City and Liverpool?
Well, the game is being played at the Etihad Stadium.
Yeah.
So it's the home of Manchester City. So I think for them playing at home give them a slight advantage.
Yeah.
But I still think by the way Liverpool is playing, they're still the favorite to win this game.
Okay.
You know why? Because when Liverpool play at home, at Anfield, right? So you could see last season, Guardiola will come to a game and just play their football. They will attack you, they will press you, they will just play football, right? But this season, for the first time against Liverpool, I saw a defensive Manchester City. They actually came not to concede so many goals, not to give Liverpool space to operate, not to give them room to breathe.
But
right?
For me, it's actually hard to tell, because for me it could go either way. Like I can tell you that it's possible for Liverpool to win 3-1 or 3-0, just like it is possible for City to win 3-1 and 3-0.
No, definitely.
So it will just come down to how things go when the game started, because the first 10 minutes will actually tell us what dynamic this game will have. Will it be more of a Manchester City game, or more of a Liverpool game with Manchester City trying to fight back?
Yeah. So I was actually listening to a guy on TV. So he said one thing that I also think could be one of the most important points in the game. So he said this game might be played on individual mistakes. So the one who makes a mistake is the one who's gonna pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. I actually agree with that. In this kind of games, it's two things. When you get a chance to score, you fucking score.
Yeah.
And you don't make mistakes. That's the second thing.
Exactly.
Not even a slight one.
You can't afford to be
even
sloppy.
the slightest mistake.
You can't afford to be sloppy. You can't afford to lose balls in dangerous areas.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be a very tight game because we know the quality of both teams.
Yeah.
If you lose the ball in an area where Firmino can actually dance in front of your defenders, then you're gonna be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose the ball when Salah can actually dribble on the wing,
and we have actually seen against Arsenal that you don't make mistakes against Liverpool. Because look at that first goal Firmino scored against Arsenal.
Yeah.
It was like the defense bouncing the ball back and forth, and then Firmino was there and they just pushed the ball with a no-look goal. No-look
Yeah.
goal for Firmino due to a mistake by Arsenal defense. You do that tonight, if Manchester City does that, they're going to get punished.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you take into account that Liverpool could actually consider this game to be a title decider, you just know that they were going to wait for even the slightest mistake to just take advantage.
Yeah.
And City need to think about that. They need to play a perfect game if they want to actually beat this very, very tough Liverpool team. Because Liverpool right now have not really much to lose. But City, they have quite some things to lose, because they will just not trail behind Liverpool, but Tottenham will get even closer.
Yeah, they will drop 2 points behind Tottenham, because I think if Tottenham win, I think Tottenham played yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they must be on top of City right now. So if City loses,
Tottenham won 3-0 against Cardiff City yesterday.
yes. So now they need to win to go on top of them. And if they draw, they still go on top, because they'll have same amount of points, same number of points, but with a higher goal difference.
Because right now Tottenham is actually second.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they'll have the same goal difference. City is gonna be on top on goal difference.
So that's what I was talking about. Like, City has way more to lose than Liverpool, because Liverpool are sitting comfortably with 54 points at the top of the table. Then Tottenham is behind them with 48.
Yes.
Then City at 47. So City needs actually to win to get to 50.
Yes.
And be 4 points behind Liverpool.
Yes.
So that's the best they can get today.
Yes.
But Liverpool will still be top of the table.
Yes.
That's the worst that could happen to Liverpool. That's not that bad. But if City actually loses, you know what happens.
Yeah, 10 points.
And Liverpool are 10 points ahead, but Chelsea are only 3 points behind.
Yes.
And that would mean that City could drop as far as
fourth
later this year if they keep dropping points. And
Yeah.
I don't think they want that. So I think the pressure is on City more than it is on Liverpool.
No, definitely.
Yeah, so that could play in advantage of Liverpool. They will be more calm and could come and just play their best football and see what happens.
And I get now why people wanted last season to be this way, because they wanted to see how City react to pressure.
Yeah.
Because last season they were never under pressure, not once.
Yeah.
They created the space between them and the second, like earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just the title for them to lose. But this season, when they lost their first game, it started creating that title challenge and that pressure.
I think the pressure was also the fact that Liverpool wasn't losing.
Yeah.
Like, Liverpool are still winning and winning. And when they lost that first game, I think it got to them. And that's how, probably why they lost the second one and then the third one.
Yeah.
Because they keep dropping points, and then there is a rival who's nuts. And I think it's the first time Guardiola has experienced something like this ever since he took over, like the spotlight in the Premier League. Ever since he got to the top of the table, it's the first time he actually experienced a team that looks actually better than his.
Yeah. Because even Guardiola himself said in a press conference that he considers Liverpool to be the best team in Europe, if not in the world right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a mind game or anything, but I just think that he's actually looking at the way Liverpool is playing, and you can't actually point out any weakness in the way Liverpool is playing right now. They can still lose a game because it's a football game.
Because let's see. Yeah, there are four teams still unbeaten right now, right? There are Liverpool, Juventus, PSG, then Dortmund, right?
Yeah.
Out of the four, it's Liverpool that's really convincing people, because first of all, it's the Premier League where everyone beats everyone.
Yes.
Second, they just don't just win games. They destroy teams.
It's a Premier League where everyone beats everyone.
Yeah. Like that's the league where Crystal Palace can beat Manchester City and where Wolves can beat Chelsea. That's the kind of league we're talking about right now. And in that league, they just don't win 1-0. They destroy teams.
Yeah.
4, 5-0, 5-1. Look at what happened to Arsenal. Like you look at that and like, dude, this team is not playing around.
Yeah.
So I actually believe that yes, Liverpool might be the best team in the world right now. Like objectively, I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm not a fanboy or anything like that. I'm just saying about based on what I'm seeing this season. I just don't see any weakness in this team. They have a solid goalkeeper. They have one of the best defenders in the world. They have like probably the best attacking force in the world right now. So like yeah, I actually believe like Liverpool are the team to beat this season, both in Premier League and in Champions League. It's going to be hard to beat this team for anyone.
So for this game, what do you think is going to be the outcome?
I'll go with the 1-1 results tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
No, I still think Liverpool will go there to get 3 points.
So,
and I'm very confident Liverpool wins this game.
What's the score?
The score is quite, I can say 2-1. 2-1 to Liverpool.
Alright.
Because since we're playing at home, I know Aguero is going to be playing. So and he always scores against Liverpool at the Etihad. So, so I give them a 1 goal for Aguero and maybe 2 for Liverpool to wrap it up.
Alright, let's move to a league where the title is not so much of a challenge.
Let me guess, that's the Serie A.
Yeah, but you could say that about League as well. But we don't talk about that league because
there's nothing to say.
Yes, nothing to say. PSG has already won it, like in September or whatever. So whatever. But there is the more interesting battle that's happening in Serie A, and that's the top 4. Because if you remove Juventus from the equation, it's actually a pretty competitive league right now, because you have Napoli with 44 points at second, you have Inter with 39, Lazio with 32, then Milan 31, you even have Roma with 30, and get this, you have Sampdoria with 29, not far behind. So it means that anyone between the first, like from the second to 7th, can finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
Because even Napoli have looked very vulnerable this season. So even them have not secured the second place yet.
Yeah, so I just think that if Juve didn't like create that big gap between them and the second, I think it could have been a very interesting league.
Yeah.
Because all this team might have come for them.
Yeah.
And try to take point for them. And that could have made the league very interesting. But the way things are going right now, we don't just see Juve losing a game. We don't see them dropping points.
But you know what? I'm just going to say something really crazy. But I think 9 points is not that big of a gap if you consider our football.
No, I don't think 9 points. That's why I was telling you right now when we were talking about City and Liverpool, that we can't say that it's a title decider in 10.9 points. But knowing the quality of the team, yes.
But we're talking about Serie A. That's the problem.
But the thing is, in Serie A, right? Last year, when Juve was trailing and was 4th, 5th in the competition, they still managed to climb their way up to the title.
Talking about last year, the year before, like 2013, Juve was 6th or 7th, I think, in December. They won the league that year.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
But now that they're winning.
So you can't make me believe
with a 9
that
point
with
gap.
Cristiano Ronaldo, Dybala, Mandzukic as the forward, they're actually going to drop 9 points and let Napoli win this title.
Exactly.
It's never going to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I just want to talk about the top 4 battle, because Milan went back to winning ways by beating, I think it was Spal 2-1
Yeah.
with the Gonzalo Higuain goal during the last minutes, I think. And it was a very good thing to watch, especially as a fan, because I'm a Milan fan. It's been a very dreadful month. It was one of the worst months we've had in years. We have drawn a lot and dropped a lot of points. But thankfully for us, Lazio managed to draw against Torino. And Roma, even though they won last weekend, they have been pretty bad this season. Like, really, really bad. The only reason they are still in the race for the top 4 is because the teams ahead of them are just as bad, if not worse. But Roma have been really bad.
But I think it's just the way the competition is, because even in other, like I wanted to say in the Premier League, like except for Man City, not even Man City now. If you take out Liverpool, who's been winning all the time, all the rest are just taking points out of each other, or other teams are coming for them.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. So in Serie A right now, when you look at the team, if you take out Juve, who's not losing and is actually playing quite pretty well, the other teams are just playing and taking points out of each other.
Yeah.
Because you have like Atalanta, who is now 28 points,
Yeah.
and not so far from the top,
Yeah.
for like 3 points, 4 points from the second, from top 4.
Yeah.
So they still believe, they still think that we can finish actually in the top 4 and go to the Champions League next season. So I think that's what makes the league interesting and makes it competitive as well.
If only Juventus didn't exist. Oh man.
No, I don't think it's about Juve not existing. It's about the other team stepping up their game to match.
No, the thing is, Juve went too fast, too ahead, way too fast. And at this point, I just think it's more, like I said, I've said it multiple times here, I think it's more about them declining. It's not about other teams catching up. You can't catch up with this Juve team at this point. I mean, they just bought Cristiano Ronaldo, for Christ's sake. How can you compete with that? You can't. The only way you compete with that is when you go and buy Messi.
No, but the thing is at the end of the day, when you look at Real Madrid last season, they had Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
They won the Champions League, but they didn't do so well in the league.
No. What I meant by buying Cristiano Ronaldo is by
in terms of investment and money and the quality they added in the team.
Yes, they are adding quality players every year, and the other teams are not doing as good as them, even in terms of investment.
Yes.
But given the rules in football these days, in buying players and everything like that, you see a team like Milan, the owners, they have the money to buy as many good players as Juventus, but they can't because of the rules.
Or the fair play.
Financial fair play, yes. So if they want to catch up with Juventus, they need to earn the money by profit. Then from there, buy top players. But it's going to take time, and by that time, Juve are going to keep buying quality players. That's why I was saying that right now, the only thing they can hope for is for Juventus to drop in terms of quality, and then they can try to at least catch up or at least go just a little behind.
Look, I just think
and right now I'm just talking about quality. I'm not talking about actual football, because football is played differently on the pitch. I've told you we have beat Juventus twice in 2014, and we had one of the worst. 2016, sorry, we had one of our worst squad in history. And we beat them twice. We beat them in the Supercoppa Italia, and I didn't think we could do it, but we did it.
That's what I wanted. Actually, I was trying to get into. Yes, Juve are adding qualities, but I think the teams as well must come into a season and be like, okay, let's give it a go.
I mean, that's what Napoli have been trying.
Yeah, because I'll give you a simple example. If you look at the Bundesliga today, which team has the quality that Bayern Munich is?
Yeah,
you have a lot of top quality players that sit in the bench in Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Like you have Müller, you have
James Rodriguez,
you have all these players that sit in the bench, but they all could be like starters,
anywhere
undisputed starters in other clubs. But today, Dortmund has decided, well, not decided, but they're set up in a way to come to this season and give it everything.
I've always admired Dortmund for that. They built a team, like really a competitive team in terms of unity and the way they make the team play. They are not the best team in the world in terms of quality.
Yes.
But they are in terms of the
organization.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. So
same with Atletico. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to be organized, to be even considered or scared, or like when you look, like you gave a good example of Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, they have individuals who are like very talented and pretty good.
Yeah.
But Atletico Madrid, you can take all these the quality player out, and it's still the same very good team. Why? Because they are very organized, and the organization comes from the manager, from the coach, to the tactics he applies to his team, and from the way they work on it every day in training. Yeah. Because they're actually a team, when you look at them, you're like, this team trains together.
Yeah.
You can see that from the way they defend, from the way they move the ball. Like, it's an organized team. That's what I'm saying. So it's not only about quality. Yes, the quality plays a lot of an important role. When you are in a game that's very tight, then the individuality of the quality can actually play.
Yeah.
But if you're not organized, that's why Real Madrid suffered last season. Because as a team, they weren't organized, they weren't as good enough. But because they have individuals like Cristiano Ronaldo, they could go on and win the Champions League.
Yeah.
And that's why this season, everyone is talking about Real Madrid, like wanting to draw Real Madrid in the Champions League, because they know what they can inflict to them. Because they know that they don't have that individuality that can change games, that can change everything.
Okay, last thing I want to just touch on the La Liga, because I'm just talking about La Liga today to just say what I've been telling people since the season started.
Okay.
That Sevilla were going to drop, and they just drew against Leganes last Sunday, and they are now third in La Liga, behind Atletico and Barcelona. To be fair, they are not far from top. They are like only 5 points behind Barcelona.
Okay.
But we all know what 5 points behind Barcelona means.
Yeah, because even Real Madrid back in the days, when they were still like a team to fear.
Yeah.
When they are trailing 5 points behind Barcelona, they cry because they know
it was done.
Like,
you can't imagine. You can just wait for Barcelona to lose, because it doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just feel like Sevilla are going to keep dropping. They are definitely going to finish fourth. That's where I see them. But just for people who were telling me that they were going to win the league this season or whatever, man, we all know the story of La Liga. If it's not Barcelona, it's Real Madrid. And occasionally Atletico Madrid, but that's it.
I wouldn't even say occasionally, because I was laughing one day. I was on Twitter, and there was someone who gave an argument. He was like, yeah, why do you say La Liga is shit? Because La Liga has had 3 champions in the last 5 years. I'm like, yeah, 5 years. If you take 2013, 2014, that Atletico won it. But if you go as far as the last 10 years, that's the only 3. Like, Barcelona has won 7 La Liga in 10 years, in the past 10 years. Real Madrid 2, and Atletico 1.
Well, that's pretty bad if you think about it.
So you can't tell me, yeah, for the 5 past years they've had 3 champions. Yes, but we all know that Barcelona has been dominating La Liga for years and years and years. So, well, I won't even go into that debate of what is the best league or whatever. I just think that Barcelona dominates that league, and Barcelona and Real Madrid are just a good side, because that's what I think. I think there's nothing such as the the best league or a good league or whatever.
Yeah,
It's just about individual teams.
because let's be honest, the best league argument is based on nothing.
Yeah, it's based on nothing.
Yeah.
You can't tell me no because you have big 6 team. That's why
Because
it makes
you can't
the
tell
Premier
me-
League the best league.
You can't tell me because PSG beat Liverpool, it means Ligue 1 is better than better than Premier League. It's not because Lyon beats Manchester City that
Exactly.
Ligue 1 is better than Premier League. Like, it's based on nothing, that argument, and it's pointless for me. Let's just watch football and enjoy entertainment. And
Exactly, and
that's
if you're a
about it.
Barcelona fan, just enjoy Barcelona
Yeah,
being dominant at this moment.
Be a Barcelona fan, be a Liverpool fan, be a Juventus fan.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. Just
support your team and be proud of it.
yeah, that's about everything you can do.
And maybe if you're an Englishman, be proud that Liverpool goes to the final of the Champions League. And
Nah.
if they win it, be proud of it.
Nah,
and
that's-
if you're not, well, it just shows that
You know that's never gonna happen. So yeah, let's wrap this up. I think that's pretty much it. And thank you all as always for listening. And you can actually, I wanted to actually tell you guys that we are back on Instagram. So if you ever followed us over there, you can go back and follow us. It's still the same thing. So at Soccerapy, you'll find us there. And follow us on Twitter at Soccerapy as well. This was your host, Fred. And you can find me on Twitter at Fredilo. And I was joined by Paco today.
And you can find me on Twitter at Paco Ilondo. Thank you for listening, and until next time.
Until next time, see you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching our channel. If you like our content, show us some love by hitting the like button and hit the subscribe button to keep up with any further content.